everybody. Happy Monday to everyone out there. Welcome to the Chainmovers podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Chad. And with me tonight is my special co-host for 2/3 of the week, Mr. Cam Wheeler.
Thanks,
Cam,
guys.
welcome.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's going to be a fun night.
It's going to be a great night. You're here Monday and Friday, correct?
Monday, Friday.
Yes.
Monday, Friday.
That's awesome. I'm happy to have you, buddy.
Well, we're going to talk some sports and
Lots of sports.
have a good old time and see if we can talk about some successes here.
Yeah, well, that's a nice little segue, Wheels, because, hey, I heard you hit a 6-game parlay this weekend.
It was a sweating 6-game parlay.
They're all sweating.
Whew, when you got money on her, you just never know what can happen.
It's a lot funner, though. I do know that.
It is fun. It is fun. I pretty much have to give a good old kudos to thanks to the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those were the closest games of the 6.
2 overtime games if you didn't catch them. Yeah, there's enough to give you a gray hair. Maybe 2.
Don't see any yet, but
No salt and pepper. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Me, on the other hand, I got quite a bit. But, well, congrats, Wheels. A 6-game parlay is always exciting. Always. And it was just money lines you bet, correct? Winners.
just money lines.
Yes.
Just
No
money
spreads.
lines. No.
Just old school. These guys are going to win.
Yeah, that spread thing, I'm starting to get
So
a little
tricky.
bit of the hang of it, but yeah, it's a little tough.
I don't know if you caught our special Saturday show. I talked about the Bucks-Eagles game and how the Bucks went for it on 4th down with like 8 minutes left in the game and they're up by 2 scores.
Yes.
Why? Why would they do that? And they turned the ball over. The spread was 7. They won 28-22. They won by 6. So guess who was not very happy? Me. I wasn't very happy at all. And I'm convinced the NFL's out to empty my wallet.
Well, and even last night, the Pittsburgh Steelers Seahawks game, DK Metcalf, just get out of bounds,
What are
man.
you doing?
Like, he just about cost them the game. And, like, so at the end of the day, right, like, ooh,
Starting to see
that's-
DK in a little different light these days. I think he's your typical prima donna receiver. And I think if
Yeah.
he gets angry, he starts doing dumb shit like that. But regardless, we got a ton to get to, Wheels.
Let's
so
do it.
Let's jump in. You watch college football at all?
Very little.
Very
bit.
little? Okay.
Yeah,
So
but-
Ed Orgeron, who is the
Okay.
head coach of LSU, had many successful seasons at LSU. It came out a couple days ago. There was a mutual agreement between him and LSU that he'd be done at the end of the season.
Oh,
He's moving on.
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So now there's a few more stories coming out about Ed. Ed was at a gas station and was hitting on this lady, and lo and behold, she's one of the top LSU officials' wife. So that got back to the LSU official. Ed used to take his girlfriends to LSU practices and let their kids run drills with the team. So there's all these kind of stories coming out, and you know, Ed's done. I'm surprised they're letting him play out the season, but I guess he really didn't break any laws or anything like that. So just kind of funny how, you know, where there's smoke there's fire, right? It wasn't just Ed's retiring; Ed's getting pushed out the door, right? So, but that'll be a coveted job for a coach to take over that LSU program.
Well, didn't they just not win the national championship 2 years ago?
Two years ago, Joe
2 years
Burrow
ago?
and Jamar Chase.
So I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like,
I mean,
you
they're having an off season, I guess you could call
Yeah.
it this year.
Yeah.
I think they're 4-3 maybe, or
Yep.
3-2, something like that.
I think they're 4-3 because I think I say I don't watch a lot of college
Yeah.
football. I think I actually watched that game. So
They
I think-
won
I
this
think
weekend, I think.
they did,
Yes,
yeah. And I think they were 3-3, and I think 4-3.
Yeah.
So I do.
Not ranked, which is weird.
I see numbers, so it's funny you say that. I just look at the screen and I'm like, oh,
winner,
there it is.
Loser. Okay,
yep,
moving on.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, no, they, and they've had 2 tough seasons since that national championship game.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, once Joe Burrow left, that was kind of it. And I don't know if they have trouble recruiting or what, but Clemson's in the same boat, right? Trevor Lawrence left, and that program, unrecognizable this season.
No.
They're not ranked, nothing, right?
No.
So maybe Dabo might be on his way out too. Who knows? But they don't like a lot of turnover in college, right?
No.
And I mean, if you win a national championship, you're good for a while. They'll keep you around for 6-7 years. And I can't imagine how difficult it would be. Like when you look at an Alabama and Ohio State, something like that, those successful programs. Imagine trying to keep that team at that level when you're losing guys every year to the draft, right? And obviously your studs, you're losing every year, right? So, I mean, that's a tough gig. It's got to be.
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine how hard it would be to keep your team on top for year after year after year after year.
Well, ask Alabama.
Yeah. They seem to do it every year. So, and number 1 ranked again this year.
Yeah,
so,
they're too good.
they lost to Texas A&M though.
They did. That
was 2 weeks ago now, but a one-off. It was 41-38, I believe. And
close.
That happens. That's a parlay buster right there. I tell you, that one lost a lot of money for people. Totally different direction here, Wheels. Lakers 0-6 in the preseason. I don't know. Are you a basketball guy? You watch a little NBA here and there?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. Okay. I like the NBA, and one thing that I think I'm intrigued about this year is some of the new faces on some of those new teams.
Mm-hmm.
And because Russell Westbrook, went to LA.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that, trio,
Yeah.
the dynamic duo obviously worked.
Yeah.
With LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like on a, maybe on a basketball court, 3's kind of a crowd.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
And, you got to have your guy that, plays and play makes and does that kind of stuff. And Russell Westbrook is that guy for sure.
Yeah.
But LeBron is also that guy. And now...
And he's good at it.
And do you take the ball out of his hands to give it to Russell? I mean, sure, from time to time to switch up the offense, Do
you think they'll run them all 3 on the floor at the same time? Because the Nets, even when they had Kyrie, Durant, and Harden, I mean, they weren't healthy very often last year altogether, but they would rarely run those 3 together, right? 2 of the 3, yes. There was always one of the 3 on the floor, but they would rarely run them together. So it's going to be interesting to see what LA does.
I mean, I think, LA's going to be a good team still, regardless of what they do or what they decide to do. And
if you got LeBron on your roster, you're a contender, right?
Yeah, well, and Anthony Davis too, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a premier
he's pretty good.
Big guy, right? Like, guy that can shoot, guy that can rebound the ball. I mean, some of those big guys, right, they just can't shoot the ball as well as Anthony Davis. Yeah. That's no problem.
Yeah, AD can hit threes. He has a mid-range. He's got everything, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Russell, we'll see how he fits in. Obviously, he likes to be the point of emphasis on most teams he's on, but that's also because he is kind of the guy on most of those teams he's ever played on.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Other than a couple of, OKC with Kevin Durant and then Houston with James Harden there for a quick little stint.
That didn't work out.
No.
And it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of egos, obviously, in that locker room. And if everybody can succumb to the fact that LeBron is a top dog, and if you do what he says, you'll be fine, then it'll be good. Yeah. But I don't think Russ subscribes to that shit. Russ is about Russ, right? So it's going to be interesting. I'm curious. But that 0-6 preseason, is that an issue, you think, or are they just figuring things out? Because they got a bunch of new faces too, right? So
yeah, you know what? I think it's tough to, in any sport that has preseason, I think it's tough to say that that's the team that's going to show up on the court game 1 of 82 or 1 of 65 or so 0-6 preseason. I wouldn't be worried.
Probably doesn't mean a lot.
No.
No, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Let's slide over to, I thought this was pretty funny. So on last Monday, holiday Monday, Thanksgiving Monday.
Okay, yeah.
We were talking about Brittany Mahomes, Patrick's wife.
Okay.
And how she's on Twitter and, blaming the refs for everything that's going wrong with Kansas City and, the refs should have called this and they shouldn't have called that and whatever else. Well, lo and behold, Patrick Mahomes' mom this weekend gets on Twitter and starts trashing Tyreek Hill because, I don't know if you've seen the interception. Well, one of the two interceptions that Patrick threw this weekend. Yeah. One went right through Tyreek's hands, popped up in the air, and it was a pick. And Patrick Mahomes' mom doesn't think that that's fair, that counts against her little boy. So this guy can't get the break with his family.
An interception's an interception, Mom.
Hey, that's life, right? That comes with making $500 million on your contract. Sorry. But I thought it was funny just because of a week ago, Brittany was on there, and now Pat's mom is Tyreek Hill, and in fairness, it was definitely Tyreek's fault. It went right through his hands. He popped it up in the air, right?
But, I mean, that's football, right? I mean,
it's a game of inches.
You see,
right?
You see all that happen, right?
And you see crazier stuff than that happen. So
also, one of his interceptions was a bad snap that he picked up and decided to throw into the air.
Yeah, that rainbow.
Maybe you should have threw it to the ground, Pat.
Or just took the sack. Just hang on to it, right? But hindsight's 2020, and I thought that was funny. And this just came out today. So you were talking about DK Metcalf and his maybe not so intelligent play at the end of before overtime in the Steelers-Seahawks game.
Well, just about cost him.
Damn near. Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer and co-host of Undisputed, right?
Yeah.
Gets on Twitter and kind of throws a few digs at DK, in that situation. Take it out of bounds, right? Don't be ridiculous.
You have to.
DK fires back.
And Shannon.
Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp.
One of the best.
He's in the hall. He's in Canton. Don't tell me my business. I know what I'm doing type thing, right? Okay, so now Shannon fires back. And pretty much, dude, you better hope your resume's half as good as mine by the time you're done. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. DK fires back. Pretty much shut your ass up. I know what I'm doing. So, I mean, when I said I see DK in a little bit of a different light now, this is why, right?
No kidding.
You know what? If Shannon Sharp's going to give me advice and I'm a receiver in the NFL, I'm probably going to listen, right? Shannon was pretty good in his day. Yeah, he knows a thing or two about playing in the NFL.
For sure.
So, man, the social media, it's going to create more wars than anything, Wheels.
Well, I was just going to say before we jump to that next one about DK, I mean, you know what? Maybe we'll get a tweet from one of the Mahomeses here shortly.
Maybe Patrick's mom will say, you know what, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you never know. You never know. Never know who's listening.
That's true.
Shannon Sharp, another, Hall of Fame guy, and, as much as DK's a fantastic receiver,
absolute animal.
You can't fake him for that, right? Like, he's a good receiver. I don't know if he's Shannon Sharp level.
Not yet, but maybe he could be, right? He's got the build,
for sure.
He's built like Calvin Johnson, so if he would have the work ethic of Calvin Johnson, maybe he will be in the Hall someday.
Yeah.
Maybe some of that blue hair dye got into his brain a little bit there. I don't know, but
might have to go back to pink.
Or just leave it the hell alone. I don't know. But regardless, that's enough side stories, Wheels. Let's get into the NFL games from this Sunday.
For sure.
Let's start with some Colts-Texans. Blowout.
Shellacking.
Colts 31, Texans 3. That pulls the Colts up to 2-4, drops the Texans down to 1-5. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz went 11-20 for 223 and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, running back from the Colts, had a big day. 14 carries for $145, so 10 yards a tote.
Wow.
2 touchdowns. Nice day for him. Davis Mills, on the other hand, rookie quarterback from Houston, 29 of 43, 247, 2 picks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not good.
And Brandon Cooks went 9 of 89, so he was leading the Texans in the receiving department. They didn't have much of a run game. They never do, because they're always chasing points. So
yeah.
Colts 2-4. Are they better than a 2-4 team?
You know what? It's actually funny. Me and my friend Jordan were talking about this on Sunday.
About Indy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we believe that. I think they are better than 2-4.
I think so too.
You know, Carson Wentz is starting to get that offense rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually don't believe that their defense is that bad.
It's pretty good, actually.
They're fast. Very fast.
The defense is what keeps them in games, right?
Yes.
So,
and so, you know, Carson Wentz healthy. The run game, if you're putting up 10 yards a carry,
makes life pretty easy for your QB.
Real easy.
You know,
and
all you got to do is run play action, and they're going to bite every time.
Yeah,
So,
and he doesn't have to, you know, Carson Wentz obviously has had some fairly big injuries early in his career. So, you know, if you protect him, you know what? He can return back to form.
Yep.
And he can take any team to the, you know, to the playoffs and maybe further.
yeah, I'm not a Wentz guy, but I think once he realizes that he doesn't have to carry this team, quit trying to do so much.
Right.
Right? They have 3 good running backs. Taylor, obviously the best of the 3, but they have options out of the backfield. They can throw checkdowns. They got a decent defense. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz, I think, is going to have a lot of these stat lines. You know, 11 to 20, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and that's all he needs to do, right?
Yeah,
that's it. So as long as he doesn't panic, don't try and run the ball because he's made of glass, right? He'll get hurt.
Yeah.
I think the Colts can maybe make a little noise in that AFC South.
Yeah, and that's not the greatest division either.
No, you got Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, even if Tennessee wins tonight, which do we have an update on that game?
Yeah,
I'm a little curious.
Let's take a little look.
Baltimore and Buffalo and Tennessee playing tonight.
23-17 Bills.
Oh, that's only 6 points. Wheels.
Yeah, I know. 10:49, 10:50 left in the third
quarter. So a field goal from Buffalo, and then they just cruise. Don't give up any points. Mm-hmm. That'll be good.
Yeah,
I bet the under on this at 53.5. So
there you go. Oh. Well, and they, you know what, Buffalo's defense too, right?
They're good.
They got good enough to keep the Titans at bay. So
I hope so.
Maybe your under's still gonna be the case. Yeah.
I hope you're right, Wheels.
We'll be in that another sweat sesh for Monday night.
That being said, let's move over to the Dolphins and the Jags.
Oh,
Jags pick up their first dub. They couldn't do it on American soil, but they won nonetheless. That game was played in London. Jacksonville 23, Dolphins 20. Good game. Both teams 1-5 now, and neither have a shot at playoffs, and they won't.
No.
They're both equally as bad, and they almost proved it with a tie. You know, I mean, it was almost a tie game. So,
and what a bunch of some 2 clutch kicks over 50.
Yeah.
To tie the game.
Yeah.
And then to win it. Oh, like that doesn't happen very often either.
Not with the kicking woes we've seen in the NFL this year.
Yeah, like everybody's missing, and at least a couple per game sometimes.
Did you watch that Bengals-Packers game where there was like 5 missed in like 7 minutes? Yeah,
it was
ridiculous.
Wild.
But, let's get back to this one. Tua was back this week. Tua Tagovailoa, 33 of 47, 329, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Mark Gesicki, tight end from the Dolphins, who I boomed, if you listen to our Booms and Busts segment on the show. He went 8 of 115, so a decent day.
Oh, nice.
11.5 fantasy points.
That's a nice call.
It is. He's kind of obscure, so I went out on a limb playing that crappy Jacksonville D. I was like, he should have a decent day.
Nice.
Jalen Waddle, rookie receiver in Miami, went 10 of 70 for 2 touchdowns. And Trevor Lawrence, kind of a quiet day, 320 yards for a touchdown. And Marvin Jones led the way for the Jags with 7 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown. So
here's the thing, though, too. As long as Trevor Lawrence isn't giving the ball to the other team, Jacksonville has a chance to win.
I think he had a fumble in this game, but I'm not sure.
Did he?
But...
Okay, well, at least no INTs, though.
Right. Which is a first, I believe. I think that's the first game he has thrown a pick. Yeah.
So, if you can take obviously a positive of winning the game, 20 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Losing 20 in a row.
That was pretty ugly, yeah.
Don't turn the ball over. You get a chance. You win games.
Exactly.
And for a rookie QB, sometimes that's really tough. Especially your number one, right? You've probably never lost 5 games in a row in your whole college career.
That was true with him. Yeah. High school and college, I think he lost 3 games combined. So
that's it's tough, but these guys are professionals, right? They get to learn, and the game's just that much faster. I think Trevor Lawrence can take a big win out of that with just keep that ball to your team.
We got something to build off now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how do you build off an 0-5 season? It's pretty tough, right?
Yeah. So 1 win, keep her rolling.
We'll see. Who do the Jags have next week? You got the Week 7 Sketty up their wheels?
I do. I think.
Or are they on a bye? We got lots of buys next week. So.
Do we? Oh, they are on a bye.
They are on a bye.
Well,
so they can't lose.
Extra preparation for the next week.
Let's slide over to Packers and Bears. Packers win this one 24-14. I don't think it was ever really in doubt. Packers 5-1 and in firm control of the NFC North. Bears 3-3.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, quiet day, really, in terms of Aaron Rodgers standards. 17 of 23, $195 and 2 touchdowns. He didn't even throw for 200 yards. That's rare for Aaron.
It is. Very rare.
Really rare. Both running backs, Green Bay had about 155 yards on the ground, and which is rare against the Bears because that's a pretty good run D.
Yeah.
So, Jones and Dillon. Jones had 76 yards, Dillon had 59. No touchdowns, but you don't need touchdowns if you can open up that run game. It just totally opens up your playbook, right?
Yeah.
Justin Fields, 16 of 27, 174, a touchdown and a pick. Justin Fields, I don't think he's thrown for 200 yards yet this season.
I don't think he has.
Is he the answer there in Chicago, or is it just they didn't design the offense to fit this guy?
Well, yeah.
Because he hasn't looked very good.
I think, yeah, and especially again, right? Another rookie QB coming in, and he's athletic like Lawrence, right?
More so, I would say.
Probably more so. And again, though, getting hit, QB, bigger guys in the NFL. I mean, these guys are faster, right? But yeah, I mean, Chicago's offense, I don't think is built around Justin Fields necessarily.
I don't think so either. I think they're trying to keep him kind of parked back in the pocket, and
and
that ain't him.
I think you kind of got to let him. I guess the word would be let it loose.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't even have to call run plays for him, but let him roll it out. Let him run some option plays here, right? Let him keep it a couple times. Let's, I mean, you get judged on one thing in the NFL, and that's wins and losses, right?
Yep.
So, and if, Matt Nagy, I'm not a Matt Nagy fan, coach of the Bears. I think he's a horrible coach. But if the Bears go 5-12 this year, that'll be it. Because they burnt what did they take him?
20. I thought
14?
14.
Mac Jones went 15.
Yeah, I think he went 20-something.
No, I think he went earlier than Jones.
Earlier than Jones?
I think he went 11th or 10th maybe overall.
Wow.
Yeah, Jones was the last of the rookie QBs to get taken, I think. So, yeah, he's definitely not playing like he was worth that top 10 pick or even a top 15. There's lots of guys on benches that could perform better than Justin has since he's taken over the starting role.
Yeah.
But what do? You can't leave the guy on the bench all year either because you did spend a top 15 pick on him, right? So I think you got to redraw your offense a little bit, and get this guy in motion. You know, start making some things happen here
because they have some decent receivers, don't they?
They got Allen Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah,
good receiver.
So I mean, if you get them the ball, I mean they'll make guys miss and get you to the end zone. So you know, I know I've watched quite a few New England games just because a friend of mine is a big New England fan. I mean, Mac Jones looks pretty nice.
He's slowly evolving. I mean, right? I say slowly. He's played 6 games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it has been pretty quick.
Yeah.
When you look from week 1 to week 6, Mac Jones is settling in, right? So, has he been great? No. Has he been decent? Yeah, he's been okay. Been okay.
Probably the best out of the rookie class so far.
I wouldn't disagree with that, honestly. Zach Wilson has had a rough time in New York, and I can't blame that entirely on Zach. The Jets are a dumpster fire, right? So, and then Trey Lance really hasn't played much in San Fran.
Just getting in there.
And he got hurt.
Yeah.
Sprained his knee in his first start, right?
Not good.
And then you got Trevor, who he's going to start the entire year.
Yep.
That's just the way it's going to be. He could throw 5 picks a game. It wouldn't matter. He's going to play out that season.
Yeah.
And then you got Fields, right? And so I would argue, Mac Jones has been the most consistent.
For sure. And I know I watched that, I think it's a university thing on Netflix when Justin Fields was in high school.
Oh, okay.
It's a documentary on QBs and stuff like that. And it's actually a pretty good little watch. I'll maybe bring the title of that to Friday.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's a good little watch, and watching Justin Fields in high school, just from his evolution from high school to to college to NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, the pressure's been on the kid since he was in high school. So
that's the life of a QB in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Right?
So at the end of the day, he's had the pressure. I do wish him the best in Chicago.
For sure. Yeah.
I think if anything, out of this rookie class, I think if you're looking for future.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, him, Mac Jones, and Trevor Lawrence are probably top 3.
Yeah.
And he could easily, I think Justin Fields easily could be, with his athletic ability, he could be up there. He could possibly be the best.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
He could be similar to a Russell Wilson type quarterback,
absolutely.
right? Where he's
nice
he's not known for his running, but he can run if he has to, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't wish ill will on any of those guys.
No.
I from what I can tell, they're all decent guys, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's slide over to the Bengals-Lions wheels. Bengals beat the wheels off the Lions 34-11.
Oh, man.
Bengals 4-2, Lions 0-6. Burrow 271 yards, 3 touchdowns. Joe Mixon had a decent day. 18 carries for 94 yards, 5 receptions for 60 and a touchdown. And Jared Goff went 28 of 42 for 202 yards and a pick. So, Lions ever going to win a ball game here? This is a tall order. Cincinnati's a pretty good team.
For sure,
right?
For sure.
But, last week, Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions, up on the podium crying, feeling so bad for his guys. You think they'd come out with somewhat of an effort after this guy cries in front of everyone saying, I just want it for the guys in the locker room, right?
Yeah.
No, we'll lay another egg for everybody here. That's at home, too. They were at home.
Yeah. Oh.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. Well, and him, Dan Campbell calling out Jared Goff.
He did. He did call him out.
After the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I believe that, though. Jared Goff, to me, I've seen him play enough in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, good team, right? They were a good team.
Great team.
Great team with him. Good team with him. Things like that.
Even better without him.
No kidding. And honestly, I have talked with a bunch of people about that.
Yeah.
What did LA see that maybe no one else did?
I don't know. Because he was a first overall pick.
Absolutely,
I believe.
he was.
Yeah.
And and to trade a guy younger for a guy,
who's what, 24, 25,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, a guy younger for a guy older in Matt Stafford.
Right. Quite a bit older.
Oh, a lot older.
Yeah.
Still number 1 overall pick, but they must have seen something that said, you know what, this isn't the guy that takes us to the promised land.
Yeah.
And I you sometimes shake your head at some deals that go down in the NFL, and you're like,
they look pretty smart after this one, though.
Does that make sense?
And they gave up. What did they give up? A couple draft picks too.
I know.
So it wasn't just swap for swap.
No.
LA kind of stuck their neck out here, and Stafford's looked good since he's got there, but.
You want 5-1? You want 0-6?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any better for Matty Stafford. And good on the guy. I mean, he played how many agonizing years in Detroit?
Yes.
So not only did he have to play for the Lions, he had to live in Detroit. And I mean, I like to see him succeed. The guy has earned it. That's a guy that's earned it. Because he got the hell beat out of him in Detroit. They haven't had a good team since he's been there.
No, couple nice pieces here and there.
Calvin Johnson, they had Darius Slay on the back end. Yeah. Sue, they had Sue there for a while. But other than that,
could never put that team together.
That's an inept organization. They're horrible.
Yeah,
they're so bad.
Not a good one. Not a good one.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Even they're so bad. Let's move over to another drubbing. Rams Giants. Speaking of the Rams,
there we go.
Matty Stafford, beauty day, 22 of 28, 251 yards and 4 touchdowns and a pick. Whew. But the pick just doesn't even matter because they crushed them.
No.
Cooper Kupp, 9 receptions for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been a fantasy god this year.
Who has him in fantasy this year?
I don't know whose team he's on in my league, but he's had like one off week. Every other week he's over 100 yards and 1 touchdown for sure.
Wow.
So, yeah, I would love to have him on my team, but...
put him on the wide receiver list.
Yeah, because my receivers are trash. And Danny Jones, not so great of a day. No. 29 of 51, 242, 3 picks to speak of. That's it. No tutties, no nothing. So
they're struggling offensively.
Yeah, if you're the Giants, where do you go from here? Is Danny Jones your guy? Now, I know they're banged up, but come on.
Yeah.
Everybody's banged up. It's week 6.
Yeah, well, yeah, Saquon Barkley, I mean, obviously that offense is built around him, but he's hurt.
All the time he's hurt, right?
And, I mean, Danny Jones, it's kind of been his MO since the start, right? He just doesn't keep the ball in their hands. Turnover king, really.
Who drafts a quarterback from Duke?
Yeah, well, it doesn't go very far.
Come on, Duke.
Yeah.
They're not exactly they don't churn out quarterbacks at an alarming rate. I mean, their football program isn't that great. Let's be honest. They're known for basketball. That's where their studs are. And, I don't know. I understand. Did they take him first overall? I think they did. He was close to being a first overall anyway, if they didn't. But regardless, I think they are a little sad with that pick. I don't think Danny's the guy that... Somebody's seen something and liked it, but it's not really panning out.
He's a big fella. Like, he's right tall.
Yeah. He can run.
He can run.
But they're 1
Trip
and 5.
over his feet.
Yeah, he can do that too. Yeah, he's good at that.
So I don't know if he's the answer, but the Giants,
they might have an early draft pick here if they keep going the way they're going.
True. So. Yes. And they, maybe they look at a different way too. I'd like to. The Giants kind of since Eli, right? Just haven't.
Yeah.
Haven't really found that.
Been in disarray ever since. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know how much I have to say about the Giants, to tell you the honest truth.
They suck.
They're not very good.
That's about it. That's all I have to say about them is they're trash.
Yeah.
So, let's move over. Chiefs, Washington football team. Chiefs easily take this one, and another steamroll.
Yeah.
31-13. Chiefs now 3-3. Washington 2-4, but still alive in their division, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dallas obviously the clear favorite to win that NFC East. But Patty Mahomes, 397 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. That we already talked about the picks.
Yep.
Taylor Heineke, I expected a lot more from Taylor in this game. But he went for $182, a touchdown and a pick, which is a pretty weak outing. And you're going to need more than 13 points to beat the Chiefs.
Yes.
And Terry McLaurin only went 4 receptions for 28 yards.
Yeah, he's better than that for sure.
Way better.
Yeah, Taylor's got to get him the ball, that's for sure.
Yes.
He's too good to be getting 4 receptions.
Not going to do it.
In a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I mean, weird that, well, I guess he did drop back 40 times. So just couldn't do anything with it.
Couldn't get it.
Not really a lot to talk about here. It was a redemption
Was there a lot of
game,
hurries and sacks for the
I don't
Chiefs
know
on
how
that
many
game?
times he was sacked, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't have that wrote down here. And I didn't watch the game.
No, neither did I.
I thought Washington could go in there and actually win.
Well, KC was struggling. I mean, it's
Yes.
probably a good opportunity for Washington to.
If they were going to beat them, that
Yeah.
was the time to do it. And
Yeah.
they didn't. But they got drubbed instead. That was a close game up to the half.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was 14-13 or 17-13.
I think so,
something like
yeah.
that. And Washington also retired Sean Taylor's number 21 in that game. So a little extra initiative from Washington's D, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Which they left in the locker room at halftime because
Yeah, obviously.
then they got the wheels beat off them in the second half. But redemption game for the Chiefs. You never know what you're going to get week to week with the Chiefs. It's a little bizarre.
They definitely needed that win.
Yes.
For sure.
Because that
division is very...
That AFC West is rapidly becoming out of reach. Chargers, hanging on the top spot there. So
yeah,
we got Chargers, Raiders, Denver, who sucks, and the Chiefs, right? So
yeah, they needed that one.
They
bad.
did. Yeah.
Bad.
So
Bad.
Chiefs are back on track. Let's move over to what turned out to be a hell of a game. Vikings-Panthers.
Oh,
This is a great football game. I watched every minute of it.
I love watching Sam Darnold in Carolina. He seems to be having a great year.
He does.
Or
Not
maybe
so great this
but
game, but
holy man,
17-41.
not very good there.
That's under a 50% completion, right?
Yeah.
207 touchdown and a pick. Local boy Chuba Hubbard, 16-61, and got his first touchdown. Finally, congratulations, Chuba.
Congratulations.
He gave us a little shout out on Instagram.
Did he?
He did.
Oh, well, let's tink to that.
Cheers to that.
Man.
And cheers to Chuba's first touchdown.
That's
Congrats,
awesome.
buddy. We've been talking about you for 4 weeks now. And he's been sniffing the goal line ever since
For
then.
sure.
Just couldn't get her in, and he finally punched her in. So good job.
It's all that maple syrup.
Yeah, that's right. Maple syrup and moose meat. Vikings take it in overtime, Wheels. 34-28. Both teams now 3-3. So if I were to pose this question to you, between the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Vikings, and the Panthers, who's the best 3-3 team? Browns, Chiefs, Vikings, Panthers.
Well, I don't think that you can really not say the Kansas City Chiefs, considering they are Super Bowl champs 2 years ago.
True.
But in saying that, the best 3-3 team out of those 4, you know what? I might have to say the Vikings.
I like the Vikings too this year, and I don't know why, but I think they're going to make some noise in that division, and you can never count them out. I don't care who their opponent is. If they win in Arizona,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a close game,
yeah.
right? And I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And this game shouldn't have went to overtime either,
Well, no.
but it did. Captain Kirk, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, standard Kirk Cousins
Wow.
day. Delvin Cook, 29 carries, 140 yards, and a touchdown. And
That's nice.
very nice day. And Adam Thielen, 11 receptions, 126 yards, and a touchdown.
He's a magnet with the football too, isn't
He is, yeah. Justin, well, they got him and Jefferson on the other side, and he's blazing fast and
Yep.
good hands. And yeah, Kirk's got some weapons, right?
For sure.
That's a good offense on paper. If you jot it down, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I didn't realize that they had Jefferson, that speedster.
Justin Jefferson,
Yeah,
they
and-
drafted him.
Yeah, that's between two wide receivers, good QB, great running back. Yeah, that's a dangerous offense.
Two decent backs because Delvin just really come back this week. He was hurt, right?
Right.
And they had Madison back there for 3 weeks, and 2 of those weeks he rushed for over 100 yards. So
Oh, nice.
2 decent backs, right?
Yeah.
So I think the Vikings are going to make a little noise.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't think Green Bay is safe at 5-1 at the top of that division. I think the Vikings could catch them. So
For sure. You know what? I'd have to agree with you on that one.
and I'm not a huge Vikings fan. It's just something about them this year. I don't know what it is.
Zimmer, they're in those close games
Zims.
all the time, right?
Zim magic.
Yeah. But they're always.
It's rare that they get blown out.
Oh,
It's really rare.
never.
So-
right? But yeah, I would have to say best 3-3 team, KC and the Vikings.
Yeah, okay. I like the Browns too. That's why it's a tough question, right?
Yeah.
They're
They're banged up.
so up and down too.
They're banged up.
Well, Baker come out of that game in a sling, but we'll get to that game.
Yeah.
Let's not jump ahead.
Yeah. Don't want to do that.
Let's slide over to another beatdown. Ravens Chargers. This one busted my parlay hard. Ravens 34, Chargers 6. 5-1. The Ravens are and looking legit, doing it. Chargers 4-2. Justin Herbert did not look like the Justin Herbert we had seen the 5 prior weeks. 22 of 39, a $195, touchdown and a pick. Lamar, quiet day himself. 19 of 27, a $167, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. I don't even know how they put up 34 points. They must have had a couple pick sixes in there because their offensive guys really didn't do a heck of a lot. So,
Well, let's maybe
not that it really mattered. They still pumped them. So,
let's take a little look-see here. Yeah, a lot of rushing touchdowns, 1 pass. Yep, mostly on the ground.
Mark Andrews had a
Typical.
touchdown, right?
Yeah, typical Ravens, right?
Yeah.
Rushing a lot and just taking it to the house.
Austin Eckler, who I busted in our booms and bust, had 6 carries for 7 yards.
Oh,
That's a rough day for your starting running back.
I'd say you're 2 for 2 on that boom and bust.
Boom!
Boom and bust.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it looked good. It was a pretty lucky weekend, but Chargers at 4-2. Wheels, are they for real? Are they the real deal? They're now tied with the Raiders atop that AFC West. Are they for real?
Young QB, Justin Herbert is absolutely shown that in big moments, right?
Look great.
He can
Turn the clock back a
really
week
do it with anybody, right?
to that game against the Browns.
Browns, Chiefs,
47-42. Great game.
Yeah, Chiefs too, right?
Yeah.
Like they beat the Chiefs.
That's
this year.
right. Yeah.
Are they legit? I think they are. Yes. In that division, it's a tough division.
It is. It's a good division.
They're gonna have to.
Other than Denver, I think Denver.
Well,
should be,
yeah.
but
Yeah, they're what 3-4 or
they are.
sorry,
Yeah,
or
3-3. now. Yeah.
but 3 wins against some pretty brutal teams.
They had a pretty soft schedule to open
Yeah.
up the season.
Yeah. The Chargers, they're legit. They just got a tough division.
Yeah.
They got to get by the Raiders, right? They got to get by KC. Those 2 teams aren't going to go away lightly.
No.
Especially the Raiders. They're about as hard-nosed as it comes.
And they look good in their first game back after the Gruden drama unfolded.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Chargers, they're legit. They've got some nasty weapons on offense.
Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler.
I mean, he might have been on your bus list, but
That's one game, right? He's a legit back.
He's very good.
Yeah.
And Justin Herbert, I mean, he's as accurate as they come, and athletic as they come too. He's a good QB.
Yeah. Rough outing, but the Ravens at 5-1 look as good as Buffalo at this point.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't a contest, and we mentioned that the Chargers coming off that huge win against the Browns. That was a hell of a football game. That might be my favorite game of the year so far. It was so good.
Yeah.
But that's life, That's the life of an NFL quarterback, especially a young one. So,
yeah. One week you can lose a game.
That's right, and look real bad doing it.
Yeah.
And then the next week you can go and put up 47 and look like a hero, right?
Yeah.
So that's life. But Cards, Browns, another beat down, Wheels. We had our share of drubbings this week. Cards 37, Browns 14. Browns were the favorite in this game. We were talking about it before we jumped on air here, that they were the 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, can you believe that?
A 3-2 team, the favorite over the 5-0 team.
Come on.
I mean, I understand they're in Cleveland, but come on. They had no reason to. I don't know. I took the Browns. I thought they were going to win this game, honestly. But
yeah.
I'm blind to the Cards this year. I don't like Kyler Murray, so I don't want to give him the credit he deserves.
Right.
So I'll continue to lose money on him, I guess. Like an idiot.
Well, one thing that I will say about the Cards, and not that I've watched every game with them or anything, but one thing that I do believe is that DeAndre Hopkins.
So good.
Wow.
So good.
He is too good. Did you see those just tight little toes on the...
He doesn't drop anything. He's just money. And he was that guy in Houston, too.
He made that whole Browns defense miss in that little 8-yard window.
Yeah.
And, barely got touched.
It really makes the Texans look even dumber every game that he does this, because they traded David Johnson for DeAndre and like a third-round pick or something. God, look at the Texans now. Just a joke. But regardless, it is what it is, Wheels, right? So
you never know.
Let's go over the stats quick. Kyler Murray, another very productive outing.
Yeah.
20 of 30, 229, 4 touchdowns again.
Gosh.
AJ Green, that offense has changed since AJ got there.
Yes.
It's opened up D-Hop, I'd say, even a little more now, right?
Quite a bit, yeah.
AJ went 579 for a touchdown and having a resurgence here,
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of off the radar for the past 2 or 3 years.
Who was that tight end that they just picked up?
Zach Ertz from Philly. Pro Bowler. Picked him up for a no-name DB and a 5th rounder.
That's a nice pickup for them.
I agree.
They'll Hopkins and AJ Green are going to be the
if they don't have
beneficiaries of that trade.
If they don't have enough weapons already, they bring in Zach Ertz, right? So
James Conner, back in the running back. I mean, my gosh,
they're good. They're a good team.
That's you might have to start putting some money on those guys.
Well, if you haven't already, you missed 6 opportunities. They're 6-0, but then Browns dropped down to 3-3. D-Hop went 3 of 55 for 2 touchdowns. He had another 2 touchdowns. Yeah. And the problem with D-Hop in Houston was the same problem that Julio had in Atlanta. He would give you 200 yards a game, but would never score. Was allergic to the end zone, right?
Right.
And now D-Hop's getting his just desserts, and I like D-Hop. He's a great receiver. Seems like a decent dude too, right? So good on him. Yeah. Cards 6-0 definitely look legit. I don't know who's going to beat them. It might take the Ravens to go in there. And
kidding.
Maybe knock them down a peg.
I mean,
they play this year?
They did it without any of their coaching staff either last week.
That's also true. Yeah,
unbelievable, right?
Do you want to do me a favor and look if the Cards play the Ravens this year?
Let's take a look.
Oh, could you imagine? They'll probably
see.
Flex that in maybe somewhere down the line. If you're the NFL, it would be in your best interest to flex that game in.
They don't.
But, well, it's 2 different conferences, so it was a long shot. But
maybe a LA Rams, December 13th.
That could be a good game. Yeah.
2 high potent offenses.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a very good defense in LA as well.
Mm-hmm.
Could put a stop to the Kyler Murray show.
If the Cards go like 17-0, I'm gonna just be devastated.
Dallas, January, one of the last games of the year.
Dallas, come on, Dallas. Maybe.
You never know.
Crazier shit's happened.
Yeah.
Dallas barely got by New England this week.
Wow, that's true. We'll
So
probably
we'll
talk
get
about
to
that soon.
We will be. Yes, you're right. But we're gonna take a quick little break here, Wheels. Just a little 2-second break on the
Sounds
video,
good.
so we can plug in a little ad slot here.
There you
So,
go.
On that note, we'll be back in a second. And we're back, Wheels.
Perfect.
We're back.
Let's do it.
Let's dive into the Raiders Broncos. We touched on it a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Raiders take it handily, 34-24, but it was like 34-14, I think.
Yeah.
And then they had some garbage time. And
Yep.
So Raiders 4-2 drops Denver down to 3-3. Teddy Bridgewater dropped back 49 times. He went 334, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Ooh.
Tough day for Teddy.
Yeah.
Noah Fant, 9-97 for a touchdown. And Cortland Sutton, 8 receptions for 94 yards and a touchdown. Derek Carr, 341 yards, 2 touchdowns. Henry Ruggs caught one of those touchdowns, their rookie receiver. 3 receptions for 97 yards. So he's a deep threat. That's 30 yards of reception.
He had a nice
32.
He had 2 nice deep balls. One for the TD, one for just a catch. But
I'm a Ruggs fan.
oh,
I like him.
as you should be,
Fast.
for sure.
Real good. I like him.
Yeah.
Kenyon Drake, of all players, had 3 touchdowns in this game, which helped nobody because
No
I
kidding.
guarantee you he's not even rostered in like any leagues.
Yeah, out of
Because he's
nowhere.
like the 3rd string back in Las Vegas.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. Brutal. He was just hawking all the goal line work, eh? Comes in, punches it in. Off he goes.
Who's going to take him in fantasy next week, hey?
Well, probably somebody.
And
someone
watch
will-
him do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. He'll have like 4 yards if he gets on the field. But yeah, Raiders now tied for first, like we were talking about with the Chargers at 4-2. That division's going to be tight, right to the bitter end.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, they and I agree. I think the Oakland Raiders got something going on here this year. You've just watch the way they played, and
It was a nice effort
You know.
considering the week they came off of.
oh,
Now,
absolutely.
Denver's not a very good team. Don't get me wrong, but
No,
they're still an NFL team, and they could still beat you at any given Sunday.
they were in Denver though, right?
They were, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
to go on the road.
It's a feather in your cap.
That's a
Yeah,
one big divisional game.
yeah, huge. Yeah.
And to go out on the road and beat a Denver Bronco team. Hey, that's caps off to them for the week they just
Hey,
had.
absolutely. Yeah, it was a tumultuous week in Las Vegas, I'll
Yeah.
say. But let's move over, Wheels, to the Dallas Pats game.
Oh,
Dallas takes this one in overtime, 35-29. And I told you that. Reed said, oh, Dallas is going to put up 70 points on the Pats. Well, it sure didn't look like it, and they almost lost to, I'm going to say, a subpar New England team. They're not that great this year, but they pushed Dallas to the end. Dallas now 5-1, and I mean, they could lose 3 in a row and still be in first in the NFC East. You know?
no kidding, hey?
They're going to win that division. That's a no-brainer. Pats 2-4. That game went to overtime, as we said. CeeDee Lamb, 9 receptions, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner.
Huge day.
Dude's good.
Huge day.
Dude is good. There's some good receivers coming out of college.
Yeah. Oh, is
Like,
it crazy?
ridiculous. Well, this is CeeDee's second year, but he looks unstoppable.
Oh, he
looks better than Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper looks slow.
Yeah,
But they're a little bit of a different wide receiver.
for sure.
too, though.
Yeah, Amari's a little bigger. Yeah.
More possession guy, finds the
Yeah.
open room. CeeDee Lamb just uses his legs. See you later.
Yeah. If Dallas needs a first down, they're going to Amari.
yeah.
If they want to stretch a field 40 yards, they're going to CeeDee, right? So,
for sure.
Dak dropped back 51 times, 445 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Zeke, a little quieter today, 17 carries for 69 yards. Mac Jones, again, quiet, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick.
Yeah.
Dallas, are they contenders? Can they win the NFC? I'm not even going to talk Super Bowl because I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. But can they win the NFC? So your big challenges there, obviously Arizona.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
LA.
Yeah, come up against
Green
them.
Bay. Right, there's some good teams.
No.
Tampa.
No.
All right. They cannot win the NFC. I like how you think.
Let's just say 3 no's in a row.
So they'll win their division, which will get them a home playoff game again.
Right.
And you watch, it's going to be like LA's going to roll in there as a wild card team because Arizona's going to win that division.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going to draw the Rams. And the Rams are going to go in there and beat the pants off them.
That's very, very true.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, and even if if LA even catches Arizona, I mean, you really want to play Arizona too?
Not really.
I mean, no. They're kind of both the same, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Good, both potent offenses.
For sure.
Obviously, I mean, Dallas's offense is playing at a very high rate right now as well. But, those 2 other teams, LA, Arizona, they're just too. I think they're just too good on the other side of the ball.
That division's so good.
Yeah, for sure.
Like imagine with Russell Wilson still on the Seahawks.
Oh, good.
Best division of football.
No kidding.
Right? There's not a weak team in that division.
Well, and when Dallas is playing Philly and New York and Washington, right? I mean, to have a record that's, that much above 500 already.
Doesn't say a lot.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't, right? So, Dallas is a good team. I don't think we can't say that.
Yeah, they're not a bad team.
They're a good team.
Unfortunately. I hate the Cowboys. I want them to be bad.
Yeah.
But they're just not this year.
Yeah, but they'll win the division, but
absolutely.
Other than that, no, and no.
Well, I think the Holy Rosary Raiders could win that division if Dallas wasn't in it. Like, that's a brutal division. It always has been.
Yeah.
Well, not always. That's not true.
Yeah.
The last 6-7 years, it's been an absolute joke.
Yeah.
And a team with a losing record wins that division almost every year.
Yeah.
Maybe that won't be the case this year, though. Maybe Dallas will.
Yep.
They might win 13 games. Who knows? Right? I'd have to look at their schedule, but the way they're going, it's very possible.
For sure.
And they're going to play everyone out of their division at least one more time. Right? So there's another probably guaranteed 3 wins. Right? So, yeah, they're well on their way.
Yeah.
They're well on their way, even though I hate them. But Seahawks, Steelers, let's move over their wheels.
Sure.
Pittsburgh taking this one in overtime.
Ooh,
That was a sweat session.
Yeah, it was.
Pulls the Steelers up to 3-3 and out of darkness. They were in a bad place 3 weeks ago. They were sitting there at 1-3.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks drops them to 2-4. Not much of a bright spot for Seattle. I mean, Alex Collins had 20 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, in the second half, mind you.
Probably, yeah. There wasn't much going on in the first half.
Nope.
And Big Ben, kind of quiet, lost a fumble again. But I'd say the real hero of this one, TJ Watt.
Oh,
what a beauty.
Huge.
6 tackles, 3 passes defense, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks. Yeah. Dude is all over the place. And the game-winning strip sack.
He's a beast.
Unreal.
I was watching the game last night, and I'm going to be biased here because I'm a massive Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Fair enough.
But you know what? Our defense is on a different level this year.
With him. Yeah.
Unbelievable, right?
Without him, it's not great. But
no.
With him, it's...
No.
Whoa.
But he's just, he's all over the ball. Whether it's the QB that's got it, running back that's got it.
Don't matter.
Maybe a wide receiver coming up the middle. He's got him.
And you obviously watch that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, TJ Watt plays end. They had 5 guys stacked on that side to prevent him from getting to Geno. Geno cuts up the middle. It didn't matter. Here comes TJ back across the formation.
Yeah.
Boom. Strip sack. That's a ball game, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you stop that guy?
Yeah, you can't.
Like, I mean, you hear about Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack. I mean, this guy's every bit as good as those two.
I would have to agree.
Every bit.
And
So good.
Yet he doesn't get the talk that those guys
He
do.
got paid, though.
He did.
He's fresh off. He's the highest paid defensive player in the league.
He is.
So and played like it last night.
Yeah.
So that's all you can ask for coming off a big contract like that. So
absolutely.
Yeah, dude's a fucking animal, man. He's so good and just like crazy too, right? Like
too good.
Farm boy crazy, you know? Like he's just one of those dudes.
All those guys, they're in the NFL.
The
right?
Watt boys,
Watt boys, triple threat
Yeah.
there. Derek's
a fullback, right? Derek is
Derek TJ in Pittsburgh, and
yeah.
And the other Watt, JJ in Arizona,
having his share of success
as
this
well.
season.
Yeah, so they're what a family to be in there.
A little bit of dough flying around there.
Yeah, a little bit of dough, a little bit of toughness,
Yeah. And they're all just built like brick shit houses.
Don't want to be going against those guys.
No.
Flag football, we don't want to be doing that.
I probably wouldn't even play flag against them. Scared I'd run into one of them.
Imagine Thanksgiving football. Jeez.
No, I'm out. I'm out. Monday nighter. Obviously, we kind of touched on it. Bills Titans. Bills 6-point favorites in this one. Wheels.
31-27.
That's 58 points. There goes the under.
Oh no!
Hate the NFL.
Oh,
wow.
close game though.
That's a hell of a game.
31-27. Buffalo's got the ball on their own 30.
Second and 17.
A little less than 9 minutes left.
Great ball game.
Oh,
We might catch the end of it, Wheels.
here we go. I'm sure Josh Allen's throwing for what?
8 million yards.
Want to take a guess?
325 so far.
Oh, little smaller than I thought. 282. 3 TDs, 1 INT. Not bad.
So how many TDs, sir? 3?
3.
So he has 15 touchdowns to 3 picks so far this year.
He is.
He's legit. Yeah, he signed
Very
a big
good.
old contract too. So at least it's nice to see some of these guys playing up to their contracts.
Making their owners look good.
You know, I mean, you look at Zeke, who signed that big deal 3 years ago and did nothing for 2 years after he signed it. Now he's coming back a bit, but I mean, you just hate that, right?
Yeah.
It's like these owners pony up all this dough. Not that they don't have enough dough, but that's not the point. They're paying you to do a job, right? So go out there and do it.
We need you at your best.
That's right. That's right, Wheels. You got to just give it your all.
Yep.
That's it for football, Wheels. I got nothing else about football, but we're going to shift over to some baseball playoffs.
Oh, you know what? I have gotten into baseball the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
I am loving
playoff
love baseball.
Postseason, yeah.
And I've really learned a lot more about the game of baseball.
Yeah.
You know what? Playoff baseball, I don't know if there's anything better.
It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy it as well. Even though there's no Jays in there, that's okay.
Also true, yeah.
I mean, it's a lot better if the Jays are in, but
for sure.
That's life.
Yeah.
Let's start with the NLCS, which my head almost explodes every time I see this. Braves up 2-0 in that series over the Dodgers. Both times in the 9th inning, they come through with a clutch hit.
2 walk-offs.
Yeah, back to LA they go now.
Well, and if there's one thing that I truly live by with my sports talks is you're not in trouble until you lose at home.
That's true.
Which, yes, the Dodgers have not. I know the stats are going to tell you they're in trouble.
Close to being over.
They're in trouble.
Yeah.
But until you lose at home, that game 3, it should be a barn burner back in LA.
I don't know how much I would believe that, the Dodgers are in trouble. You compare lineup to lineup, they're a way better team than the Braves. So,
absolutely.
But it's playoff baseball. You never know what's going to happen, and I think that's the best part about it. And MLB changed it up, so the first 2 games were in Atlanta. Yeah. The next 3 will be in LA, and then 1 and 1, right? So
so I think that's a big thing for LA.
Huge.
Because
huge. I think they only lost 20 games at home this year. So.
Yeah, and I would believe they're the best team in baseball still.
Yeah, I would say even though the Giants finished one game better.
Yeah, they beat them. So
Yep.
I mean that's
a whole nother story. Do you see how that series ended on that
Yeah.
weak check swing call on the Giants guy?
Yeah, that's
a rough way to go down and a rough way to end an NLDS.
It for sure was.
Ugly.
I was listening to a podcast, or maybe not a podcast, but maybe Sports Center, where they'd like to see the reseeding happen after the wild card games.
Okay.
Because then San Fran and LA wouldn't have met in the divisional. They would have met in the or as long as they've won.
Right. Yeah.
In the championship series.
Saying. Yeah.
I kind of like it.
I don't hate it.
Because you don't want to waste a NLDS on the two top teams in the NL.
Right.
And they play each other in the divisional. I'd like to see that in the championship.
But so far,
Braves
giving them all they can handle.
Living up to expectations.
So, they don't play tonight. They go tomorrow back in LA.
They do,
so, I'm looking forward to that game, especially since there won't be any football on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you know what? I think LA will take Game 3.
I think so too. I think they're like, you know, if being down 2-0 doesn't light a fire under your ass, nothing will. So no. So once you go down 3-0, the odds of you winning that fourth game are good because you're pulling out all the stops. Right?
Yeah,
you're not scared to make errors. You're not scared.
No.
You just play, right? So. I think the Dodgers will go home and take care of business. But.
And even last night too, right? I mean, Corey Seager. I mean, that play he probably makes 10 out of 10 times. Yeah. One time, right?
That's life.
I mean, it's
just happened at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just one time, but it happened at the wrong time. So
yeah,
that's life. But Astros, Red Sox, they go back to Boston. I believe they play tonight. Are they playing right now?
They are, and the Red Sox. They just decide to put the points on the board tonight.
Of course, because I bet the Red Sox tonight, but I'm going to lose on the under.
Holy man. They came out of the second inning 6-zip here and haven't looked back. 11-3 Red Sox.
Talk about an underrated Red Sox team, I think.
For sure.
So they eked in the second wild card spot.
Yeah.
No, sorry, the Yankees ended up in the second wild card spot.
Yeah, they won the wild card game.
So in the wild card game, I would say arguably they were the underdog.
Yeah.
Then they go into the ALDS where they're the underdog against Tampa because Tampa was the king of the AL.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Now they're going against the Astros where it's like, they won't beat the Astros. Well, here they are.
Yeah.
Beating the wheels off them in Game 3. So it looks like it's going to be 2-1 and the next game's still in Boston. Right? So
absolutely.
Next three will be.
Next 3 will be.
So
that's a scary thought for Astros fans.
That Boston team has some big bats.
Yeah, and just coming alive at the same time.
Schwarber.
There was a stat, I think, the other day. They lose a game. They come back and score, like, literally a ton of runs.
They just crush you the next game.
So,
let's sleep.
Might not be a good thing for the Houston Astros.
Don't poke the bear, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but they may lose games, but they come back next
strong.
game and much stronger. So
yeah. They've been putting up some serious runs in these playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I think they beat Tampa one game 14-6.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that was after a loss again.
Yeah.
So poking the bear.
Yeah. Like, it's like, if you're going to beat them like 3-2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't make them too angry going into the next one. But, I mean, everyone you talk to is going to say the Astros are going to win this series. But after last series, it's like, I wouldn't be so sure. Because they made Tampa look bad real quick. So
they did. Well, beat them right in
3-1.
In 3-1. So they obviously got it. Well, that one ended on a funny play too, didn't it? In Boston, wasn't it a double play that turned into, or one of those games did the double play turned into the guy going to third, pop out.
Yeah. There was
Boston came back out in the extra innings to win that game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a couple goofy ones, but that check swing was just... you hate to see it, too. I mean...
Especially in a Game 5.
Exactly. 9th inning. the last out, right? So I mean, now would he have swung at the next pitch and took strike 3? We don't know, right?
That's true.
And then that would be a moot point. That whole check swing,
Yeah.
right? It wouldn't matter.
Wouldn't worry about it.
It is what it is. So yeah, if you get a chance, watch that Braves-Dodgers game, and it looks like that one's gonna be pretty much over. Boston's gonna win tonight, I would say.
I would think so. Top 8.
I'll fall off my chair if they lose that one. So let's slide over to a little NBA wheels. We're not gonna spend a bunch of time on it. Season tips off tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got the Nets, Bucks, and the Warriors and the Lakers. 2 games tomorrow. That's it. Nets 1.5 point favorites against the Bucks. Lakers 3.5 point favorites against the Warriors. Couple contract signings. Grayson Allen signed a 2-year $20 with Milwaukee. Grayson Allen, who's kind of a nobody, getting paid $10 million a year. I should have been a basketball player, Wheels. Those guys make some sick money.
I was never big enough to play basketball.
Can you shoot a 3?
Well,
that's all you need. Play a little bit of defense too. But, yeah, ridiculous. Landry Shamet signed with Phoenix, a 4-year $43.
Wow.
Atlanta, Kevin Huerter, who isn't a great basketball player. He's not bad. 4-year $65. Indiana, Malcolm Brogdon, who's a decent point guard, signed a 2-year $45.
You're not kidding. Maybe I should have been a basketball player.
Yes, you should have. Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr. signed a 4-year $105.
Wow.
Big man. Good player, but... And Mikal Bridges, Phoenix. Phoenix was busy today. He signed a 4-year $90. It don't take much to make $10 million a year in the NBA. Grayson Allen plays like... I mean, he's like a 3rd-string point guard usually.
Okay.
And he might... There's some games he doesn't see the floor. But usually he'll play like 4 minutes a night.
Well,
I could do that.
I think everybody could do that.
I could do that. I could do that. Man, if I could go back, I'd be about 6'8", and I'd have had a basketball in my hand everywhere I went.
Should have practiced more on the old Wheeler driveway.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because holy lightning.
Should have practiced my crossover a little more.
And all those contracts always fully guaranteed too, right? It's not like the NFL.
Right, yeah.
You know, that is where you make money, is in basketball. It's crazy. Ben Simmons back at practice with the Sixers. Quite the saga with Ben.
I didn't think we'd ever see him back.
He's back. How invested he is in practice is another story. He's kind of off on his own, doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And maybe he's taking the approach, if I'm enough of a pain in the ass, they'll ship me out of here, right? So,
which you don't really like to see, or at least I don't. As
4 years left on his max contract.
I don't, as a fan of sport.
No, you don't like to see it.
You know, you want to see the best guys out there, and you want to see them, you know, putting their best foot forward for the team or for, you know, anything, right? And the Sixers are a good team.
They won the East last year.
They
were first. Number one seed. Yeah.
But they've been there too, right? Other than a lucky shot from Kawhi.
I mean, they were right there.
They're right there, and you know, I get it. There can be some animosity between, you know, coaches, players, organizations, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But that we don't really get to see, or, you know, the full story anyways, usually until they retire or they leave.
The tell-all book comes out.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I think Ben Simmons is a good player. He's just got.
I agree. Yeah.
He's got to use his players a little bit more around him. He's got to shoot the ball, just like his coach says, right?
I don't know if he should.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But there's something up here with that whole shot thing, right? I don't know what his deal is. My thoughts on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a good basketball player. Mm-hmm. He's not good enough to be doing shit like this. And he should be thankful that he has a max contract and he's got a good team around him and he has a legit chance at a ring. And if you're going to act like a pussy, then you think the fans of Philly are going to get behind you on this one? He's going to get booed in Philly at a home game for sure. Philly fans don't care.
No,
they are ruthless.
They're about as bad as Boston fans.
They're worse. They're worse.
Way
man.
worse.
Oh, so bad. Like, Yeah, they will boo him every time he touches the ball. Like, his life is going to be miserable for the next season.
You know what? I hope they cheer, or I hope they chant, shoot!
Yeah. Shoot! He will not shoot. And I mean, I don't know if he developed this wicked jumper in the offseason, or I don't believe it. I'd have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
Defensively, Ben Simmons is great.
You never know.
Offensively, he's horrid. And the simple fact that Philly signed him to a max, he should be kissing someone's feet because holy lightning, this guy struck gold.
Well, Doc Rivers is a good coach.
I think he's okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think he's okay.
So
he's not my favorite, but he's been around long enough that he knows what's going on. So regardless, Ben's back at practice. We'll see what happens. Let's slide into your wheelhouse a little bit, Wheels. NHL.
Sure.
We got a couple minutes on the NHL front. We've been about, an hour and a bit. So we'll go through a little bit of NHL.
Sure, let's do it.
And then we'll call it a show.
Sounds good, man.
All right, buddy. So let's start with the big story of the day. Evander Kane suspended 21 games for supposedly breaking COVID protocol. Now, the story I heard was that he used a fake vax card. Like, he had a fake card that said he got his vaccinations or something. I don't know. What do you know about this whole thing? This guy can't stay out of trouble. But let's stick to this story.
I was laughing at this because I read that he got suspended for 21 games. COVID protocol. So I'm thinking, okay, he just did something very stupid. Went somewhere.
Right.
Defied all odds. Right. All the trouble he's put himself in so far.
Yep.
League just said, you know what, man, this guy's got to try and figure it out.
We got to hammer him with a 20-gamer here.
Yeah. And then I read a few comments and things like that, and then I switched over and I searched Evander Kane, Hockey DB. Me and my dad were talking, like, he was in Winnipeg, then he went to Buffalo, then he went to San Jose. And, then it says, fake vaccination card Evander Kane.
Why don't you just take a stand like Kyrie and just say, I ain't doing it? Why do a fake thing?
I don't know what
you'd have gotten less trouble.
What he was thinking, first off. And it's absolutely appalling to me that first you would do that. Like, you either take a stand one way,
right.
You
do what you're gonna do, right?
But the guy just
loves to get in trouble. Because
cares about himself, no team. Like
the issue before this was an ex-girlfriend said he was trying to shave points for gambling.
Yeah.
And then before that, he had all these gambling debts, right? He's broke.
Yep.
And prior to that, I don't know, it was a lot.
Well, it was just that
there
money,
was a locker
that
room
money
issue.
thing, right? He
Yeah.
took a picture of his $100.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's
where it all kind of started,
Buffalo.
right? Yeah, and then it just...
Winnipeg must have knew something. I don't know.
Dude's super talented.
They got lucky. They got
just a shithead, right? Just always in trouble.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, 21 games, that'll probably get his attention.
Well, if you're not getting paid for those 21, so that's...
he needs money, obviously.
He needs a little bit of dough, so I think, it's not going to be nice for him.
Not a good situation for Mr. Kane.
No.
But, we'll slide over here. I just want to go through... Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about the Oilers, my beloved Canucks. Some 2-0 teams here, Wheels. Couple surprises out of the gate. Now, I know it's early, but the Buffalo Sabres, 2-0.
I know.
Without their ex-captain, Jack Eichel.
Yeah, no kidding, hey?
That's a whole nother thing.
They played 2 tight games on the weekend, or weekend here, and 2-0. I don't know if there's really much I can say about that, other than, like you just said, it's very early.
That shit ain't for real, is it? No. They're still a bad team.
No.
Yeah.
They. We can go and take a look at their schedule here. I mean, they played. Let's take a look who they quickly played on the weekend or here. Yeah, I mean, Habs and Coyotes.
They blew out the Habs, though, right? 3-0 or something?
5-1.
Yeah.
So, but you know
Carey
what, though?
Priceless Habs.
Well, and Shea Weber, Priceless. Carey Price and Shea Weber.
Confirmed Weber's out for the year? Is that a for sure? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, and the thing is right, the Habs are, you know, went to the Cup final, obviously. Everybody knows that, but they're gonna be tough to get out of the basement this year.
They're gonna have a tough year.
Now, Carey Price comes back. You never know what can happen there.
They said what? 3 weeks, maybe?
Yeah, a month.
Maybe, you know.
But could be longer.
Yes.
So it all depends on what he's going through, that he gets back to himself, and so, you know, you hope for Canadian hockey, for Canadians hockey, Montreal hockey, that he does come back, because
pulling for the guy here, right?
You know what? He's a world-class guy.
Good old Canadian boy. Yeah. Let's get him right and get him out there.
Yeah,
so.
and
arguably the best. He's top 3 when he's healthy.
For sure.
In the game, right? So you want him out there. You want to see him play.
Yeah.
So
So they, you know, Buffalo 2-0, probably playing 2 weaker teams from, or at least my perspective.
Yeah.
For injury wise / team wise. So Buffalo will not be staying perfect.
No.
Let's put it that way.
Okay. How about Florida 2-0? Now I've heard some grumblings that people think the Cup's going to stay in Florida, but Tampa ain't winning it this year. They think the Florida Panthers are going to win the Cup.
Well,
what do you think of that?
I'm going to have to agree with that. Florida is a very good team this year.
Wow.
They've got a lot of young core there. Barkov, Huberdeau, you know, Ekblad, obviously. They've just got a deep team with a nice goalie tandem, Bobrovsky, Casey, or Knight, Spencer Knight, sorry, and
Canadian,
a good
right?
mix,
Spencer
right?
Knight?
No, he's actually from the U.S.
He's
Development
American.
Club.
Okay.
Yeah, but 2 great young, like Bobrovsky's obviously a little older now, but Vezina, right? He's won a few.
Yeah, he can play.
You know, and Spencer Knight being young, they got a good team, and. Yeah, you know what? I could see them going very, very far, and that's not a far off cry to say that it stays in Tampa, but not with,
or stays in Florida.
Stays in Florida, but not with Tampa.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, they're a good team.
All right,
great team.
Pens 2-0, Pittsburgh
without Malkin and Crosby.
Yeah, 2-0.
Wow. Yeah, I honestly didn't see that coming without those 2 guys.
Walking out till Christmas?
For sure. Yeah. Without Crosby too. So obviously they're playing like a team, and you know, just playing the easy game, and getting good goaltending from Tristan Jarry.
It never hurts.
Nope, never does. You get good goaltending, and it usually takes you places.
Yeah, I mean, if your D-men aren't scared to jump up into the rush or whatever, it opens up. It's kind of like establishing the run in football, right? So.
Yeah, and that's a tough division too, right?
Yes,
that
Metro.
It's a tough division. So yeah, they'll hopefully they can keep that rolling. Crosby gets back healthy. You know, they could make some noise.
Estimated when he's coming back?
Geez, he had surgery on wrist. I think he's only out like 3 weeks or something.
Oh, okay.
3 weeks to a month.
That's not bad.
He's not very.
So
not
he'll
very
miss maybe 10 games.
10 games at max.
Okay.
Yeah, start of the year.
Carolina 2-0.
Real deal again.
Good team.
I believe. Picked up Freddie Anderson. Big off-season move and goal there. Obviously, Mrazek him swap.
Yeah.
Mrazek hurt groin already, so that's not good for Leaf fans. But Carolina. If Freddie can stay healthy, they've got a great back end.
Yeah. Which Toronto never did have.
No,
right?
no. I know they did lose Dougie Hamilton to New Jersey. But you know what? They've got a good D. Jacob Slavin. All those guys on the back end there. And some just fantastic forwards. Sveshnikov, Aho.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sebastian Aho. Yeah.
You know, picking up Kotkaniemi from the Habs on that deal where the RFA deal where they
matched them.
Offer sheet, you know, type deal. You know, but again,
look at that one. Look at this one.
Yeah, exactly, right. So they'll again, you know what? Again, I think another really legit team there in Carolina.
Okay.
But Rod Brendamore, he's a fantastic coach.
Yeah,
Fantastic
he knows
coach.
what he's doing. Yeah, fully credible. He walked the walk and
he's won a cup.
been there, done that.
Yep.
So Minnesota, 2-0.
Yeah, and another. You know what? They had a great year last year, shortened season.
Knocked out first round.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and one thing you got to remember from last year, you know, talking about last year them being good and getting to the playoffs. Now they're in the divisions that they should be in.
Right. True. That's true.
And it's going to be very different.
Yeah. That's true.
Teams that you think should be up there may not be.
Right.
Guys that you know, teams that really picked it up last year. You never know.
That's true. We're back to
I think they're a good team. I'm not going to say that 2-0 speaks to their, you know, they're not going to be good or great. Sorry, like Carolina and Florida.
Okay.
But they might squeak in. That's another division.
Tough. Yeah.
Colorado, St. Louis, Winnipeg, Chicago.
That's a hard-hitting, hard-nosed division.
You know, Chicago, Dallas. I mean, I know Chicago's off to a rough start there, but and so is Winnipeg really at 0-2. But you know,
Blip in the radar,
again,
early.
early.
A lot of people think out of all the Canadian teams, Winnipeg has the best chance.
I think they do, but again, though, I'm going to say that division is going to be very, very tough to come out of.
They still got to come out of that division. Yeah, that's true.
You know, I think there that you know, 5 of those teams get to the playoffs in that division. Okay. You know, so I don't think it's going to be, you know, the kind of 4-4 that they kind of like to see.
Right.
I think it's going to be, you know, 5 from the Central. 3 from the Pacific.
Pacific's a little softer.
And just the reason because they have so many good teams in there.
So,
I mean, I hope they get in. I mean, Winnipeg's going to get in, I think.
Yes.
And so I think even Minnesota will, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
They're not going to be as good as I think they are.
Okay. Well, let's move over to your Oilers, who are 2-0.
Off to a good start.
Didn't make a lot of moves in the off season.
No, not a ton.
No, but a little bit here and there. And can they do something this year?
Well, I think in the Pacific they're obviously up in that upper echelon of teams in the Pacific.
So. Well, you got McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah,
you should be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like I think Vegas and Edmonton will be battling it out for kind of first, second there, and you've got, you know, the Kraken, Canucks, Flames.
It's a little softer this.
It is,
this
but those 3 teams I think are going to battle for that 3rd spot, and it's going to make for an interesting year, I believe.
So you think Edmonton will finish?
I think one or two. Yeah. Okay. You know, one thing that I've liked about their game, the last 2 games, I know they've given up a decent amount of shots,
which is typical for the Oilers.
But their team defense is a lot better. They're giving up those grade A chances, but they're getting stopped and then it's over.
Right.
It's not.
There's nobody banging.
It's not a goal.
Right.
Or a goal.
Like,
you know.
Yes.
They are.
And you can give up 70 shots. Your coach doesn't care as long as if they're from outside the hash.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, and that was just like Calgary, right, on Saturday.
Yeah.
They had 41, 42 shots on Mike Smith.
Yeah.
A lot of them were
nothing really quality. Yeah.
I mean, and so...
you'll give that up.
For sure. So. And, you know, Zach Hyman, he's another, probably the biggest addition To the
Yeah,
Edmonton
I would
Oilers.
say so. Yeah,
And he just makes our top six a little
more depth.
A lot more depth.
Yeah,
a lot more depth. Gives our second line a little bit more punch. So.
Duncan Keith, 38 years
Yeah.
old.
Nice leader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they bring him in on a 1 year.
They
Was he
actually,
a free agent?
No, they actually traded for him.
Okay.
They traded away Caleb Jones and some picks for Duncan Keith.
Okay. Yes, that's right.
And but again, you know what? You can say he's 38, but you know what? He's been there, done that.
He's played at a very, very high level for the majority of his career.
Yeah.
He has how many Olympic golds? He has how many Stanley Cups? And he logs big minutes, or he used to. I imagine he still will.
Yeah.
He'll probably play 28 to 30 minutes a night. Right?
For sure. Well, and now with with Darnell taking a big step from last year, that probably helps the Oilers out.
Yeah.
He's going to take up that
fill those minutes.
28, 30 minutes. Give Duncan Keith a nice sweet 16 or 20.
Yeah.
And that'll help the Oilers
For sure.
immensely.
Yeah.
Down the stretch, playoffs, things like that.
I would say, it's time. I mean, I understand when Holland come over, Kenny Holland, he was trying to fight those bad contract fires and, it wasn't his team. It's now arguably his team. Yeah. Now it's time to move forward, right? Yeah. So,
and they, and you know what? He's made some nice moves, I would say, since he's been here, 2-3 years now. The thing is I think the biggest one is just keeping Jesse Puljujarvi.
Mm-hmm.
He was not even in the Edmonton organization, really. And he's like,
a foot and a half out the door.
So keeping him, I think has been the biggest.
I think he'll have a big year too, because he's supposedly playing with McDavid.
He is.
Or they're going to try that off the start.
And McDavid and him. So 2 goals, 2 games.
Jeez, I could probably pot 20 playing between those guys. So just put me in front of the net, man. Bank it off me,
And he's good enough to put up probably 20 himself. So at the end of the day, you put him with those two.
Could have an Anson Carter type season where he scores 40.
And he's coming really nice together into the NHL. I know it was a tough couple years for him.
Sure it was.
But he'll form into a nice piece for Edmonton, and I think he can be a real dark horse for him.
Yeah.
Really help him get over the hump.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Big body, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Huge.
And my Canucks are 1-1-1.
They are.
They took care of a couple contract issues though. They re-signed Pettersson. They re-signed who'd they re-sign on the back end?
Quinn Hughes.
Yes, Quinny Hughes. I like the Canucks this year. I think they'll be okay. Do I think they're gonna run away with the Pacific? No, I don't. I know better than that. The team isn't there yet. But I like their chances. What are your thoughts on the Knuckleheads?
Yeah, they also had a tough year last year, right?
They did. Yeah, they've regressed a lot from 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so.
But like I'm going to say again, they played in a tough division again, right? The Canadian team.
Yes, it was a totally different game.
Was a bigger, stronger division last year, right?
That's not Vancouver.
That's no.
They've never been that.
And so Toronto, team. Right? Like they don't have to play Toronto that many times.
Yeah.
They don't have to play Edmonton that many times. They still have to play Edmonton that many times. But
no Winnipeg.
No, not 8. It's 4.
No Winnipeg.
It's 4.
Yeah.
4 for the Oilers, 2 for the Jets, or 3.
Flames are a hard hitting team.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Canucks, I think they made they made that big splash too. Connor Garland, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson from Phoenix. I know Ekman-Larsson's probably not like the Ekman-Larsson of 5 years ago. No, but
neither's Duncan Keith.
Neither is Duncan Keith either. No, and so they, they're going to be a better team this year, I believe.
Yeah.
They'll be battling. They'll be battling for that last playoff spot, I think.
Yeah.
They'll if Travis Green's got them playing some decent hockey and. They just kind of their hard nose.
Got to stay healthy, right?
Yeah, got to stay healthy. Brock Besser, great shooter on the power play.
Yeah, good.
Pettersson, I mean, he had an off year last year too.
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes, he's going to be just as good as last year anyway.
Yeah. Grow a little bit more even probably, right?
Yeah.
So.
And behind Ekman Larson's probably a nice little thing. Not behind him, but playing with him, talking to him, things like that.
Yeah.
Bo Horvat, good captain, I think.
Yeah.
Pedersen.
Young team. They're young team.
They're
right?
young. Still.
Yes.
Still.
Since they blew that team up in 13, right?
Yeah.
It's been a 8-year rebuild, and
Yeah.
I like to shit on Oilers fans because that rebuild lasted
quite
an eternity, and it took 5 first overalls, but they're getting somewhere now. So I hope the Canucks don't go down that road, but I think they'll be an all right team. I don't think they're going to be wow, but I think they'll grind it out. And
if Demko can keep them in games, you'll be all right
for sure. And then last but not least, Wheels, the Seattle Kraken. What are your expectations for them in their first season ever? They're currently 1-1-1 as well.
They are, yeah.
I think they're going to be shitty, but I could be wrong.
And you know what? I know there's going to be some people out there that are probably listening to the podcast right now, and they're going to be like, Cam, did you really just say that? But honestly, I think they're going to be better than people think.
Yeah.
I watched a few games so far of them.
Yeah.
1-1-1. They've all been 1-goal games.
Yeah.
Those are winnable games.
Yeah.
Either way.
For sure.
So if you keep playing like that, obviously the expansion draft is built on having probably a better defense than a better offense.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of just like Las Vegas.
Yeah. For sure.
And, you get a good goalie, right? Fleury in Vegas. Grubauer in Seattle.
That's true.
If you get good goaltending, good defense,
who knows what could happen?
Score the odd goal here and there.
And you're going to get a few guys because, a lot of those guys are coming off the scrap heap, I guess, in essence, right? Their team let them go. They didn't protect them. And it's like, okay, they don't want me here. So now I got a chip on my shoulder, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's a big thing,
yeah.
Right? And I think we kind of saw that with Vegas.
Absolutely.
Right? The whole misfit type deal, right?
Yeah.
We're going to show these guys, like, we're way better than what people should be thinking.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's the same thing for the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
Am I saying that they're going to go to the Stanley Cup final?
No.
Will they be competitive in the Pacific and maybe push for that last playoff spot in the Pacific, being top 3? They could.
Yeah.
And depending on how kind of everything shakes out in the Central and with those teams,
yeah.
I personally believe that they'll be within striking distance of the playoffs.
Well, as long as they don't
come the end of 82.
As long as they don't knock my Canucks out of a spot, I'll cheer for them a little bit. A little bit.
Well, maybe we'll come back at the end of the year and talk about...
we can talk about the Kraken.
And getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, first round of playoffs.
And never know.
We go.
Never know.
Hey, I'm all for pulling for an expansion team. What the hell? Why not, right? So, even though the city of Seattle probably doesn't deserve it, whatever. That's not my call to make, Wheels.
Hey, like people say, they like their jerseys.
They are nice unis. I'll give them that. But thanks for being here, Wheels. That's all we got. I got nothing else.
You're welcome.
That was a good show. It was about an hour and a half.
Nice.
So
thanks for having me.
Hey, you're back Friday.
Back Friday.
All right, beautiful.
Yeah.
Do we have a final in that game before we let everybody go? I seen it was 34-31.
Let's take a look.
Tennessee beats Buffalo. Stop it already. This NFL, man, I don't know.
34-31.
Well, if you're an avid listener, you'll know Tennessee was my Super Bowl pick way back when. So them knocking off the Bills goes a long way towards making that dream a reality.
They took 10 points in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter comeback.
Disgusting. Do you know, Manny, how much money was lost tonight on that game?
A lot.
A lot. Lots and lots and lots.
A lot.
It's disgusting. But regardless, Wheels, thanks again for being here. We'll have you back Friday.
You're welcome.
As usual, thanks to everyone for making us part of your day. Appreciate it. Of course, you can catch us on Facebook Live, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, you name it, we're there. Yeah, have a beautiful evening, Wheels. Thanks for being here again.
Hey, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. And on that note, we're out.